Welcome students. Today we will see the explanation of lesson number 600 dresses part 2. Let us see the theme of this lesson. It becomes difficult for a poor immigrant like Vanda Petronsky to adjust herself in an environment which is not very conducive to her. However, Vanda rises above all this petty consideration. She still loves her previous school and her classmates. She is generous enough to donate her 100 drawings to her classmates. She has no ill feeling towards Peggy, who used to tease her by putting embarrassing questions regarding her dress, shoes, and hats. She allowed Peggy to have the drawing of green dress, Maddie the blue one. However, the damage has been done. In his letter to Miss Mason, Vanda's father clearly mentioned how he is forced to move out of the place and get his children admitted to a new school. Now see here, Vanda is not able to survive in the modern school. Vanda is not able to manage the pressure given by her classmates. But that doesn't mean that she is rude. That doesn't mean she hates them. But she loved Peggy and Maddie, her friends, her classmates. Now let's begin the explanation. Miss Mason received a note from the principal's office. She read it several times. She studied it thoughtfully. Then she read the letter in front of the class. As we know that Vanda did not come to the school since many days. She was absent. No one knew for what reason she had been absent in the school, absent in the class. She had no friends. All the classmates, they never noticed her. But when the name of the drawing contest was announced, who was the winner of the drawing contest? It was Vanda, who painted, who drew hundreds of dresses, hundreds of, gowns or dresses in many different colors and size. And she became the winner of the drawing contest from the part of girl. Now since then, everybody in the class 13, in the room 13, wanted to see Vanda, congratulate her, but she was not in the class. She did not come to the school, and no one knew why she remained too absent in the class. Now one day, their school received a letter which was sent by Vanda's father. And this letter was given to Miss Mason, who could be the class teacher of room number 13. She read that letter several times. So many times she read that letter. Finally, she decided to take this letter and have it read before the room number 13. Vanda's father clearly made it clear that both his children, Vanda and Jack, would not come to the previous school anymore. That means Vanda's brother Jack, he also studied in that same school. So Vanda's father made it clear that both of his children will not come to that school anymore. Vanda and Jack would not come to school anymore. They would not be insulted for having their funny names. Now, if they will not come to the school, if they will not go to the school, they will not be teased. No one will make fun of them. No one will tease for their funny names that they have. So, in a new big city, there were so many children with strange names. That means they have moved to a big city where there were so many students with such strange names. Now, when this letter was read before the class, now why this letter was read before the class? It is because Miss Mason realized that somebody had teased Vanda. Somebody had provoked Vanda. Somebody had made her frustrated and downhearted. That is why she knew it is the work of the classmates. So she read this letter before the entire class. When this letter was read before the entire class, the letter had an immediate effect. A deep silence prevailed in the room when the letter was read. Everyone in the room number 13 remained silent, attentive. Miss Mason spoke in a low voice. She wished that none of the boys and girls in the room 13 would purposefully and deliberately hurt anyone for having a long and unfamiliar name. After reading the letter before the classmates of Vanda, after reading the letter before all the students of room number 13, Miss Mason wished that no boys and girls from this room number 13 would have purposefully, intentionally, and deliberately teased the emotion of anyone for having unfamiliar and unique or strange name. What was said in thoughtlessness. Now, even if they would have done this, that is done unintentionally or thoughtlessness. So, this is the statement given by Miss Mason, that if this is done in the room number 13, it is not intentionally done. It is not purposefully done. It is done thoughtlessly. It was a very unfortunate and sad thing that Vanda had to face such a situation in their school. It is very unfortunate thing. Vanda faced such situation in that school. Vanda was a simpleton. Vanda was a simple girl. She never spoke anything wrong. She never did anything wrong. She never teased others. Even when she laughs, she make a strange experience. She twists her lips, then she laughs. So she was a very simple and good girl, but her classmates, they made fun of her. Now when the letter was read in the room number 13, Peggy and Maddie, they were also present there. This letter pricked their conscience. They were guilt-stricken. Both of them, internally, they felt embarrassment on their deeds. They felt disturbed and sick for what they have done to Wanda. Maddie was highly disturbed. Maddie, as I told you, Maddie was a poor girl. She was highly disturbed. She could not put her mind on her lessons. When she wanted to study, she could not concentrate. Why? Her mind was getting distracted by the thing that happened in the school, by the letter that was sent by Wanda's father. She could not concentrate on her studies. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her heart. Now, a kind of sick feeling she felt in the bottom of her heart. Her conscience was pricked. She was confronted. She was guilt-stricken for being a part of this nuisance. She cursed herself for remaining silent when Peggy teased Wanda Petronsky. Now see here, Maddie did not do anything, but she stayed with Peggy when she teased Wanda. She was always there with Peggy when she purposefully teased and made fun of Wanda and questioned about her shoes, hats, and dresses. So she felt very bad. She cursed herself for being a part of such nuisance. She only stood by silently and said nothing, even though she felt bad. It was as bad as Peggy had done. She believed that even though she did not do anything, she stood silently without doing anything, but she was still becoming the part in the nuisance of Peggy. She was nothing less than a coward. She put herself in Wanda's shoes. She decided to find Wanda. Now, this is the thing that struck in his mind. Maddie, she thought or she decided to find Wanda. Why? So that they can go and ask forgiveness, so that they can go and admit their mistake, admit their error, admit their wrongdoing before Wanda. It was possible that she had not left Boggin Heights yet. Maddie thought that still Wanda would be living in Boggin Heights. They would have not left the place. So with the hope to find Wanda and ask her forgiveness for hurting her feelings, for making fun of her, for teasing her, for putting her into trouble. Maddie wanted to see Wanda. She decided to look for Wanda. Peggy had also the same idea. These two girls, Maddie and Peggy, both, they decide to find Wanda. These both girls plan to visit Wanda's house at Boggin Heights. They decided to go to the Boggin Heights in order to find the house of Wanda Petronsky. The two girls set out for Boggin Heights, the place where Wanda Petronsky used to live in. Peggy felt that she never called Wanda a foreigner and made fun of her name. Now again they are regretting, they are remorsing, and they are cursing them that they would have never done such things with Wanda. They would have never hurted her feelings. And Peggy think that she would have never ever called Wanda a foreigner and made fun of her strange name. She thought that Wanda was too dumb. She praised her drawing skill. Wanda was dumb. He did not talk to anyone. She would remain silent. But that does not mean that she will not get hurted. She will not be hurted. If somebody is silent and you keep on teasing them, you keep on making fun of them, it does not mean it wouldn't hurt them. It won't hurt them. If they are silent, they still can be hurted. At last, they reached Wanda's house. It was a little house with a shabby but clean courtyard. They were on the way to Boggin Heights. After a lot of searching, they found a little cottage. They found a little house. In fact, the house was shabby, not properly or not systematic, but the courtyard was very clean. The house was shabby or unkempt. That means it was dirty, it was filthy, but the courtyard was clean. Soon they started knocking the door continuously, but got no answer. They began to knock at the door. They hope that they will see Wanda today. With expectation, they have come to Boggin Heights so that they could meet Wanda, so that they could see Wanda and admit their mistakes, admit their wrongdoings. But when they knocked and knocked and knocked, no one came to open the door. The door remained to be closed. It was not open. What does that mean? That means Wanda had left the place. Wanda left her house. Wanda's family left the house. They have now shifted to a big city. So no one was in the house. Peggy said that if she had not asked Wanda about all her dresses, they felt depressed because Wanda left the house. Peggy said that if she had not asked Wanda about all her dress, now Peggy, she is blaming herself. Oh, that I could have never asked about her dresses, her shoes, her hats. She is guilt-stricken. She would have no idea for her drawing. Peggy had no idea that Wanda is a very good drawer or a painter. She might not have won the contest either. Now one point of difference is here, that if Peggy had not asked about the dresses, Wanda would not be able to win the drawing contest either. Now, in a way, she is telling that I have provoked her by teasing her. Thus, she won the drawing contest. Maddie thought about Wanda. Blue dress and the little house. You remember that the painting that was put on the wall of their classroom. There were two paintings, one the blue and the other green dress. And in the letter, it was mentioned that these two drawings are for Peggy and Maddie. Now Maddie is thinking about her blue dress and painting of blue dress and the little house Wanda lived in. She reached an important conclusion. She was not going to stand by and say nothing again. Now she came into a conclusion by this incident. She was greatly moved by Wanda's incident. So what happens? She decides that she will no longer stay with Peggy in such incidents. So she will not accompany Peggy in such act of nuisance, teasing others, putting down others, frustrating others, making fun of others. In all these things, she will not stay with Peggy. She would never forgive anyone insulting the others because they were funny looking or had a strange name. Now, second decision that she had taken is that she will never ever forgive if someone is ill-treated for a strange name, or if someone is ill-treated for strange looks. She will never forgive them. She would stand up and speak up. Now she will not bear all these things. Previously, in the case of Wanda, Maddie did not like Peggy teasing Wanda. Maddie did not like Peggy when she asked about her dresses, her shoes, her hats. But however, for the sake of her friendship with Peggy, Maddie stayed with her. Maggie accompanied her or indirectly supported Peggy in all these things. But now she realized her mistake. Now she is regretting. Now she is filled with remorse and guilt in her heart. So that she decided that now she will not stand or support anyone in such thing. And she will speak up. She remained silent when Wanda was teased. This was something that was pricking in her mind, in her heart, so that he could not concentrate on studies. He could not have her concentration in her lessons. Why? Because she stood silent. She did not raise up her voice and stopped Peggy. She should have done this, but she hadn't. Therefore, she is now feeling very bad that she did not speak against Peggy. She would oppose injustice even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. Now she says that she will oppose any kind of injustice. She will never let injustice taking place in front of her. That means she will not bear any kind of injustice in front of her eyes. she will raise her voice against injustice, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. That means previously she became a part of injustice without speaking anything, without opposing the injustice that she was witnessing to. But why? Because of her friendship with Peggy. But now she make a firm decision, a strong decision, that even if she had to lose the friendship of Peggy, she will oppose the injustice. Her conscience is awakened within her, and she realized her mistake, and now she wants to correct her mistake by doing these things, by raising her voice against injustice. This is what that Maddie decides. Wanda had gone to a big city. Peggy and Maddie could not find her in the Bargain Heights. Now they decided to write a letter to Wanda. They wrote how pretty her drawings were. They asked her if she liked her new place and her new teacher. They wanted to feel sorry, but they ended up with writing just a friendly letter. Now when they were not able to find Wanda in Bargain Heights, they decided to write her a letter. And this could be a letter of apology. This could be a letter in which they will admit their mistakes and errors and wrongdoings. But what happens? Indeed, they praised about Wanda's drawing. They admired the painting skill of Wanda. And they asked about the new place where Wanda is now living. They asked about the new school, the new teacher, new classmates. They wanted to feel sorry, but they ended up writing just a friendly letter. They wanted to, feel sorry. They wanted to show her that they are really feeling bad, but they won't. They ended the letter in a friendly manner. Now they posted the letter. They received no reply from Wanda. They were waiting. And after a long time, on the last day of the school before Christmas holiday, Miss Mason received a letter from Wanda. This letter from Wanda Petronsky. She wished that the girls of the room 13 could keep those 100 dresses. She had a new 100 dresses in her new house. Now see that? Lastly, finally, a letter comes to Miss Mason, and in that letter it is said that all the 100 paintings of dresses would be given to the children, to the student of room number 13. And furthermore, she says that she has now got 100 dresses in her new house. She would like Peggy to have the drawing of green dress. Now, specifically, she writes that Peggy would be given the drawing of green dress and Maddie would be given the painting of blue one. She wrote that she missed the school, her new school, teacher didn't equalize Miss Mason. She indeed gifted her two drawings, her two paintings. One is the green dress painting, second is the blue dress painting, to Peggy and Maddie respectively. And she answers the question that was raised by Peggy and Maddie, that the new place, new school, new teachers, how they are. And she says that new teachers, new place didn't equalize with that place. And now new teachers didn't equalize with Miss Mason. Peggy and Maddie, they realized that these paintings were given to all the classmates. They realized that Vanda actually liked them. She replied their letter. There was no ill feeling among them. This letter that had come from the part of Vanda made Peggy and Maddie to believe that there is no ill feeling, there is no bitterness between them. All is well between them. Their relation, their friendship is good even now. Everything was all right. Maddie felt sad that they would never see little Polish girl again. She belonged to Poland. Vanda belonged to Poland. Therefore, it is called Polish girl. So Maddie was very much feeling sad. Why? Because she will not be able to see Vanda anymore. She went home. She pinned the drawing on the wallpaper. Now remember, as it was mentioned in the letter, that Peggy and Maddie would be given green and blue painting. Both of them, they had taken that painting. Now here, Maddie took the painting and kept it on the wallpaper. Tears blurred her eyes when she was looking at the painting. Tears came out of her eyes. She looked intently and found that the face and the head of the drawing looked like her. When she analyzed, when she was intently, or when she was seriously looking at the picture that was made by Vanda, and she could see that the face and the head of that painting is just like her. Exactly just like her. She became excited. She ran over to Peggy. She showed Peggy her picture. The head and the face of her picture also did like Peggy. Now, what happens when she realized that this painting that was made by Vanda is a painting of Maddie? She ran to Peggy and she informs Peggy that the painting that was gifted by Vanda indeed was a painting of them. And Peggy also looked at the painting, and she saw that the head and the face of that picture resembles her. It is similar to her, exactly like her. Peggy replied that Vanda must have really liked them. How did Peggy and Maddie know that Vanda really liked them? Because she had drawn their picture, their figure, their face, their appearance exactly on the picture. That means she liked Peggy and Maddie, even though they made fun of Vanda, even though they teased her, even though they called her foreigner, even though they frustrated her so many times. They would wait for her in order to tease her. But despite of all this teasing, mocking and taunting, Vanda still liked Peggy and Maddie. Thus, she had gifted the two drawings to Peggy and Maddie. Moreover, she proved that she had 100 dresses. How did she prove? How did Vanda prove that she had 100 dresses? It is by the drawings that she made. You remember the drawing contest for girls? It was to paint dress. The topic of painting was dresses for girls. So Vanda Petronsky made the 100 paintings of dresses in different colors and put them on the wall of the room number 13 to show that, to prove that indeed she have many dresses, 100 dresses. She had not lied to Peggy and Maddie. In this way, she proved that she had 100 dresses, all lined up. Now, this incident, however, affected Peggy and Maddie, and they realized their mistake. And finally, they must have realized how Vanda liked both of them.